Hello, hello! I am really excited to talk to you all today about a new garment. If you saw the description, it is the Weatherwool HoodOrak, and I'll give some first impressions of that and kind of get through it. But before we do, I want to set the stage because I have a number of hoodies. I have a number of anoraks. I have one HoodOrak, which is the first time I've ever heard of such a thing. So let's get into it. I'm going to do a quick review of like a hoodie versus an anorak versus the Weatherwool anorak versus the HoodOrak and kind of cover the spectrum so you can kind of see what the features are of the different things and what uses that I use them for. So I talked about this. This is the American Giant hoodie, and I might as well just put it on. So to me, a hoodie it's some kind of warmer layer. It has a zipper. Well, that's for me. All my hoodies, the way I look at it, have zippers. It's got a zipper. It's got a pocket. It's got a hood, and that's hoodie. So the American Giant hoodie, heavy cotton, traditional cut, if you will, pockets, nothing fancy, no interior pockets, but what is that? No, that's just a seam. So generally, I've really liked this one. I've had this one for 5 years, give or take, 6 years, 7 years. This is an older one. I've heard varying reports of their quality on new ones, but American Giant hoodie of this vintage, super solid, and I love it. Again, this is 100% cotton, but good all around stuff. So that's that. Now, in the world of anoraks, I have and I love these Melanzana, they call them microgrid anoraks. You can get them on eBay. You probably are going to pay over retail. They are, these are just a great comfy shirt to wear around the house. A great mid layer or a good outer layer when you're doing activity. Wouldn't really wear this in weather. Wind will blow right through it, etc. But so these are still a very good all around. I've got like 5 of these in different colors and weights and so forth. But traditional anorak, long sleeves, hood, kangaroo pocket. I call it the one big pocket in the bottom. So I've always liked this, the Melanzanas, but they don't have quite the robustness for a huge range of conditions. And Melanzana is great because it's a minimalist design. Everything's pretty lightweight. It's pretty, it's still durable, but they just minimalize wherever they can. And I've always liked these, and I will continue to like them a lot. This is a polar fleece, though, so it's a synthetic fabric, which I am trying to get away from in the new stuff that I'm purchasing. Going back to natural. So those are the kind of the old school stuff. And now enter Weatherwool. So I did a big video on this not too long ago. This is the Weatherwool Al's anorak, and it's freaking awesome. I don't know what else to say. You could wear this like for a whole year, and it would suit most of the conditions. One thing I loved about this, is when flying, when traveling, you've got a big pocket here, and you've got these, vest kind of top pockets that you can put your stuff in. And I just thought that these pockets up here were incredibly useful. It's got adjustable sleeves. It's got these awesome vents on the side so you can ventilate. It's got a way you can button it with kind of a spongy, elastic, so it's open but still closed. It's got a draw cord in the back, so you can cinch it in a little tighter. It's got a highly adjustable heavy hood. So much like the Melanzana, it's a useful garment, but unlike the Melanzana, the material is rugged and it can handle some weather and some conditions. I would call it wind resistant. Still, if it's windy, it's going to blow through it, but this does give more insulation, a little bit more wind protection, a lot more rain protection. If this gets wet, it still feels warm. And it's a natural fiber, so I'll just say you can wear this a long, long, long time and not get that funk that you get on a synthetic, which I do not know why and how the smell gets so bad so fast in synthetics versus something made out of wool. Also button neck, so the adjustments here, which the Melanzana does not have. So there's just so many ways to adjust this and wear it, store things. And one other thing it's got is a hidden interior pocket, so you can put your other things in there that are more secure, closer to your body. So I actually absolutely love this. The only downside, in my opinion, the two things. One is there's nowhere, the hanging thing still, I wish there was a way to hang it. There's no hanging loops, but this is meant to be worn, not hung. So, I get it. I'm just nitpicking. And the one other thing is, it's an anorak, so you got to pull it over. And if you're sitting in an airplane seat and you wanted to take it off, you're going to be throwing some elbows and your neighbors might not be your best friends. But actually, I've worn this on planes quite a few times, and with the side vents open, I want it on. It's a little chilly in the airplane. I haven't really had a problem, but, it's a pullover, so it is what it is. But if I were out in the woods in a survival situation, I would take this over anything that I own, if I had a limited amount of choices in time. Weight wise, this is not super light. This is the midweight, Weatherwool midweight, and with the hanger, it comes in, just to refresh, it comes in at 3.1 pounds. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Now, in an interesting turn of events, Weatherwool has done two things. The first thing is they came out with a new fabric. This is, and I'll pull it up closer, this whole thing for the most part is made out of wool denim. The traditional Weatherwool is a wool jacquard weaving, which is a different process. I'm not a fabric expert. This is a woven fabric that is woven on a jacquard loom, which is, I believe some people call it a 3D. Jacquard is a lot of times used for pattern weaving. In this case, they jacquard wove a solid color. I've heard that this is actually the same pattern as the Lynx. They just use green and green. I don't know if that's true. Maybe we'll be able to confirm that someday. But either way, it feels very fleecy. It's very soft. We've talked about that a lot. This is not your grandfather's wool. This is a highly soft and comfortable fabric. So someone over at Weatherwool said, hey, what if we made denim? So denim is again, I'm not an expert. I believe it's called a twill weave, where you've got warp threads and weft threads, and they weave around at an angle. And I'll pull this up closer. Just like on your jeans, when you look at the, inside and they're white, because you have white weft or warp threads, I can't remember. You've got white one thread, and then a dark, in this case like a charcoal, what other thread? I can't remember which is which, to make a denim. From a weight perspective, so this is an XL HoodOrak. We are 3.65 pounds. So I actually thought that the denim would be significantly lighter and thinner than the jacquard. But overall, the mid-weight jacquard is maybe feels a little fluffier than the denim, but and again, I don't know the specifics, but this whole jacket is about the same weight. So what I originally thought was going to be super lightweight is actually like wears similarly, and I've worn this outside in some different conditions already over the past week and a half that I've had it. Probably not quite as warm as this, but it's warm. Like you could wear it in some, you know, temperate, cool conditions, all buttoned up and everything. So, so that's kind of high level there. Other things that I'm noticing, and I'll put it on and talk more about the differences. It's using a little bit more of that utility cloth, which last time I looked, I know that Weatherwool was transitioning over to a 100% wool for everything, including this utility cloth. So I'll have to get confirmation on that, or maybe Weatherwool in their awesome responses will fill us in on, is this wool or not. But either way, it's 100% American, all the same stuff as the old one, other one. So let's do the side by side, and I'll put this on. I'm tired of holding it. When I first got this garment, I put it on and I was like, it fits perfect. I usually go XL with Weatherwool, but I did just get the blazer, the Weatherwool blazer, and it was I should have got a 2XL. Just the sizing I've noticed in their denim garments, the blazer and the vest in particular are a little smaller. I don't have the vest, but the blazer was true, and I should have gone 2XL. But it doesn't matter because my wife didn't like it anyway, so I sent it back and I got this, and I'm really happy. So let's talk about this. What is different? A couple things. Denim, we talked about. The fit, I think this might be a touch longer. It goes a little bit further down my legs, which I actually really like the additional coverage. It just will make it warmer when I'm out in conditions, which in upstate New York, we get them. So the biggest difference, obviously, is the zipper. This is a really nice YKK. It is a nylon zipper, which I like for two reasons, and this is why Weatherwool picked these from I saw on their blog. It's lighter than a metal zipper. Oh, my dog's there. It's lighter than a metal zipper, and it also will perform in extremely cold conditions. So if you're in Alaska, which there are Weatherwool users in Alaska, it'll still be a functional zipper. I guess some of the metal zippers like get hard to use when it's really cold. That's what they said. The other thing I really like is it's a double zipper, so I can open the front up like this and still have some zip here at the top. So it's got a double zipper. It's got the same top two pockets as the anorak, which I really like. However, I will say my phone, this is my phone case, it still fits. The pockets are, I mean, it fits, right? So problem solved. They are a little smaller. So if you have a plus or whatever size phone, max, they might be a little tight. So just keep that in mind. We've got our hand warmer pockets down here, and the hand warmers are very large. It really is like this kangaroo pocket cut in half for the zipper, and you've just got really spacious hand warmers with a big opening. On the inside, there's some real innovation, which I'm happy about. So right here, this is all sewn shut and tacked down and put together. in the anorak, one little gripe that I have, it's hard to see, is the chest pockets kind of flop around. And when I first, which again, everything's a trade-off, but when these first came in, and this utility cloth does feel different than this one. So maybe this is a cotton and that's the wool. But this, sometimes I would put it on and my arm would go up here and kind of go through the wrong hole, which I emailed Weatherwool about it, and they said some people do kind of tack it here. But I decided to just leave it the way it was because I got used to it. So chest pockets are a little bit smaller, but they're nice and tacked down. We've got a generous internal pocket on either side. And of course, like proudly showing the Weatherwool, hardcore luxury Weatherwool, 100% USA, Weatherwool certified fine wool, made in USA, XL. Got lighter weight, kind of smaller zippers here. So it's got a whole lot of pocket stuff going on. It's got, just like the anorak, the side zips. So one of my favorite features of the anoraks is how much you can ventilate it. And surprise, surprise, now I've got even more ventilation. I'm basically wearing a, I don't even know what I'd call this. But zipped up, you got nice side ventilation with the same way to button it. And even better, it's got literally 2 different settings you could button it to, a looser or a tighter. So, you know, you could button it to this one or this one to tighten it up. And it's got the same draw cord along the back. So I feel like if an anorak had a baby with a jacket, like you would end up with this, hence it's called the HoodOrak. The hood itself is much like all the other Weatherwool hoods. I would call them very generous in their size. And I do like to pull my hood over and take a nap, and this one does that job perfectly. It's got the adjuster in the back. It's got the drawstring in the front, so you can kind of shape it to your head and weather and all that stuff. One final big change is this one's got a wool knitted cuff, I think it's called. So a little bit of springiness. And at first I wasn't sure if I would like these, but I like that they're not too tight. Just for casual wear, I don't want like a sport fit. I wanted like a little bit more room. Plus, if I have like a long sleeve shirt on, it's just not gonna be too constricting down here. So yeah, I am actually really getting into these cuffs. So what's my first impression? I'm about 2 weeks into this. I wore it almost every day since I got it, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is, in my opinion, going to be the hoodie that I wear and use more than anything. It's going to give my anorak a run for its money because I don't have to pull it over my head. So I think for like most of my like suburban kind of living where I'm going outside, doing some stuff, traveling, jumping in my car, going to work, lounging around the house or whatever, this can do it all. And it's almost like I'm starting to rethink my entire closet, because if this jacket, HoodOrak, whatever you want to call it, is as versatile and useful as I think it's going to be, I'm going to have a lot of other stuff that's collecting dust and probably going to put them up on eBay and make a couple bucks. Because if I had one thing I don't like about this, it has nothing to do with the garment. It's the fact that, I don't know if it shows, I've got a yellow cat and a yellow dog, and I'm wearing a dark gray piece of wool, and it is like a magnet for pet hair. So I really like the moss green colorway, so I might take a look at that. Or if they come out with this same thing in some of the jacquard fabrics, you know, I would be strongly tempted to pick one up, if not more, and then lean out some of my other jackets and kind of midweight stuff, because this thing is freaking awesome. I don't know how else to say it. It is, I'm convinced, I think I'm going to go out on a limb again and say, this could be the best hoodie in the world. And I've experimented quite a bit, but I would really welcome feedback on that claim, because I really can't think of a reason why I wouldn't wear this. You know, if you think about my basic hoodie, like the American Giant, this is softer, it's more comfortable, it has a lot more pockets, but it does everything that does. The hood is better, the cuffs are better, the sleeves are more comfortable, and you know, again, it's wool. It's going to be able to handle more abuse, more weather, more water for sure. If this gets wet, no big deal. If that cotton gets wet, I'm soaked and cold. If I think about the Melanzana versus this, again, a lot of times I wear the Melanzana just when I'm lounging around the house. I've just done this for 2 weeks. It's not too hot. It's soft and comfortable. I actually took a nap on it in this on the couch and pulled the hood over, and it blocked all the light and was super cozy and comfortable. So I don't know, like, I do feel like this could replace a lot of things, and I know the issue for a lot of folks is going to be the cost, because this is I think $950 is the list, maybe $975. That's a lot. It's a lot, but this could replace 3 or 4 other things in my closet that are, you know, in the $100-$200 range, and you're not really 6-7 you're not really in a bad place. So yeah, so I'm actually thinking about selling a couple more things to make room for this, and really continuing to on this journey, if you will, of like finding the best no compromise things to wear on a daily basis. So anyway, yeah, if I had feedback, say they came out with a version 2, I would, my only real thoughts are, right now, if I had notes, I would say you might be able to get away without the knitted cuffs just to make it a little bit more affordable. Like, I like the knitted cuffs, but they're not anything that I would have opted for, honestly. They're fine. Like, they're fine, but if it's 50 bucks less with no knitted cuffs, that might improve the affordability. I think you could squeeze a little bit more size out of these chest pockets so that they're on par with Al's anorak, might be another note. And otherwise, like, man, freaking nailed it. So congrats to Weatherwool. Congrats to the advisors that helped Weatherwool design and figure this out. Oh, third note, hanging. My same gripe applies. There's nowhere to hang this. I've got a coat rack by my back door where a lot of my daily drivers take them on, take them off, whatever. They sit there, and I just don't like this awesome fabric, knowing that the only way for me to hang it is to kind of double it up and like have it jamming into the fabric, or if I do it from the hood, you know, it's kind of getting the bottoms of the coat down into where all the shoes and the mud and all that stuff are from the kids and the dog rubbing on it and all that. So, you know, call me a pain, but if you flip the back around, if you ever watch this, put a real, you know, I again, maybe I'm being too dramatic here. Take the ribbon that you use for the slot buttons or something and some wool, and you can make like a nice ribbon that spreads all the weight out over some space with some wool layered in to have like a nice robust hanging loop right here under the hood. I think for me, and for people that want to hang these up, I think that would be a really nice improvement. So again, this is made for wearing, not for hanging, but it's just like your car. It spends most of its time in the garage. These nice clothes spend most of the time in the closet. So just having a nice loop, I think, would be appreciated. But again, I'm nitpicking. Like, I would give this a 95 out of 100, and those little notes would bring it to a 100. So anyway, that's my feedback. But is this a buy? It absolutely is a buy if you, particularly if you don't have all this other stuff and you're kind of building up options. I know I'm all crooked and messed up now, but I would definitely call this a buy. I would recommend it to anybody. You know, unless it's extremely duplicative or you just don't have the kind of lifestyle that I have. Which again, I go everything from chopping wood outside to a boardroom within 24 hours. So, you know, I'm kind of all over the place. So this kind of checks a lot of boxes because it can do a lot of things. Like I could get away with wearing this to a business meeting if it's clean at the time. So anyway, yeah, that's my quick take on this. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely beat it up and post some longer term observations after a couple seasons. So yeah, looking forward to what Weatherwool's got coming next. And I do want to chase this down in green when it comes out. So thanks for checking out the channel, all that stuff. Smash the subscribe button. It feels like I feel so dumb saying that. Check the subscribe button. I want to do more content. Got a flannel review that I'm coming up with. I'm going up to get a couple shirt jacks that are at my camp, and then I'm going to do a shirt jack review in the near future. And I'm working on footwear, so I've got a pair of work boots and a pair of hiking boots, and then I'm going to do a brief interlude in footwear and go through some dress, hiking, working, daily wear kind of thing with shoes and stuff. And then we're getting to the, you know, that'll probably take us to some warmer months, and then we'll start getting into the rest. So yeah, lots to talk about still before I run out of clothes that I haven't brought on camera yet. So thank you again, and drop a comment, question, clarification. I am yeah, happy to be a resource and just happy to share my experience. Thanks. Bye.